Welcome everybody, this is John with BestPriceNutrition.com. Today I'm going to address some of the questions that came from the how to get lean and ripped fast. Fast was added by our SEO guy Jeff, so some people have been like, hey, it's not fast, it's a slow process. I don't write the titles, he does, so you guys can find us in the search engines. But also fast is a relative term. For some people, 3 months would be fast. And let's face it, you can see significant results in 3 months. So that's my way of justifying it. But it was him, not me. I don't come up with the titles of these things. And it was him also. He snuck a picture in there of me too, trying to be funny guy. So, anyways, so here's some of the questions I want to run through them with you guys real fast. How much of a deficit is needed in order to burn body fat? We kind of covered that in the video, and just to be clear, the amount, you don't want to go so low below the amount of calories that you need to maintain your current physique, if you will, that you're compromising muscle tissue. You don't want to have this huge gap where you're eating 30-40% less than you need basically over maintenance, because then you're going to sacrifice muscle tissue, which in the long run is going to be counterproductive. You're going to give up too much muscle. And as we covered in the original video, muscle cells they have a lot of mitochondria, so they're very metabolically active. There's a thermic cost to having them, so they actually elevate your metabolism, if you will, just by having them. Fat cells, they lack the mitochondria, so they don't require as much energy. So that's how much of a deficit. Another question that came up along those lines too was, can you, and I thought we answered this in the video, but I could be wrong, can you lean out and gain muscle? Yes, that is feasible, and it depends on a few different things. The starting point is what matters. If you're new to lifting and you have a lot of body fat, yeah, your body fat levels can come down and you can build muscle simultaneously. Your body doesn't turn fat into muscle. There's some people may still think that. I mean, I haven't heard that in a long time, but that used to be a thought. People think, oh, I'm going to get real lean and lose all my fat and then build muscle. No, you can get lean and build muscle. It all depends upon starting point. If you're somebody who's a seasoned lifter, who's been doing it the right way, if you will, for a long time, or you've been eating properly to facilitate growth, and you're just trying to hone in on getting lean, yeah, you're probably not going to build muscle while you're at a caloric deficit. Probably not. But if you're somewhere close to your genetic potential, you probably are already close to your genetic potential. So you probably would be somebody where I'd say, hey, you're in a slight deficit, you're probably not going to be able to build muscle. But again, starting point matters, and how long you've been doing it the right way, which we'll loosely define as, let's just say, giving yourself enough calories to facilitate growth, along with the proper stimulus on the outside, i.e. working out. So I hope that answers that. Intermittent fasting, yeah, that's fine. I thought I covered that in the video too. You can do intermittent fasting. Just set your caloric goals, as we discussed in the previous video. And we're going to put in the notes of both videos for you guys the formulas that I mentioned. And again, those are guidelines, you guys. I don't know your activity level. Somebody who's more active or working out more than somebody else is going to require more calories than the other person. And it doesn't have to, bring them down as low to reach a caloric deficit. In other words, less than you burn. And carbohydrates are where you're going to make those adjustments. As I mentioned before, protein is the least dispensable. You can make the argument, because there's another question that come up, you can go with less than about a gram of protein per pound of body weight, goal body weight. If you're bulking up, because you have extra calories from fat and carbohydrates, yeah, you could probably go to like 0.75, somewhere in there. You can get by with a lot less because you have the other calories from the other macronutrients to make up for it. However, when you're trying to get lean, it's really important that you keep that protein a little bit higher. Some people go up as high as 1.5 grams. You could do that. I would just as soon suggest maybe just bringing your carbs up a little bit and keeping the protein there. But either way, it's 6 one way, half a dozen the other. Let's see. Another question we had, this one came in through private messages, the idea that in order to maintain your current physique or your current body weight, let's just say body weight, I like the idea of physique better because, you could be losing body fat and gaining muscle, let's just say, but you're not changing on the scale. And as I mentioned, the perils of using the scale are, you're holding water, you're on creatine, things like that. I think pictures and like measuring your waist, those are really going to be the best ways to do it. To actually measure your progress. So anyways, yeah, you don't have to eat exactly how much, because people have this idea, I have to eat exactly how much I burn in order to stay the same weight. Your body adjusts a little bit too to thermic effects. Some people need a greater caloric surplus than, say, 200 calories in order to gain weight, because for some reasons, their body adjusts, there's more of a thermic effect going on. They might get more fidgety or other things like that. So it's not as if you have to be right on with that. Nutrient timing, we covered that. It matters insofar as, eating too much right before you work out probably isn't the best idea because you're going to be burping it up. Other than that, it's really up to you and what's convenient for you. I mentioned in the last video, I like having a shake with carbs and protein after I train. I train pretty intense, so I just have trouble eating right away. And not that you have to eat right away, it's just I feel better that way. I like getting my calories that way. It fits into my schedule well. And then I eat a little bit after that. That's just what makes sense. But I don't care if you're eating 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It doesn't matter. It's about your total calories. So keep that in mind. Guessing intake, as I mentioned before, with keeping a food journal or using MyFitnessPal is a really, really good idea. Again, and for a lot of this, guys, a lot of it's repetitive. So check out the other video because we go into more depth on a lot of this stuff. I'm just trying to hit these questions that came up. Training intensity, the more intense you train, the more likely you can get hurt. So if you're new to this, ease into it. Don't go, like I said, sign up at the local CrossFit gym and do 6 crazy workouts, a week or something like that. That's not a really good thing. You got to ease into it. And don't let, drug-induced bodybuilders be your guide. I've heard some of the stupidest things I've ever heard in my life from gurus who are coaching these, IFBB pro bodybuilders. They're on a lot of drugs. They don't say need as much intense training as say you do because they're on all these steroids and so on and so forth that can help them grow, which is their own prerogative. I really don't care. I'm not making a judgment on that. And on the flip side of that, even if they were to do above and beyond way more, well, they're going to recover better because of all those drugs. So that's not necessarily the best guide. It's not that you can't get good advice from those people, because you can't. I've just heard some of the stupidest things I've ever heard, such as you can't have carbs after you train because it'll affect your growth hormone levels. That is so stupid and based on nothing. It's ridiculous. It's come up in a few other videos. It's just a guy making it up, really, is what it is. It's a guy making it up who's in the I'm the guru business, and I'm smarter than everybody, so I'm going to make something up, which it's ridiculous. So don't listen to that. So yeah, I think let's just see here. Yeah, I think I covered all the questions that came up in the comments section. Again, we'll post kind of those formulas that I mentioned before. Those are loose guidelines again, and I go into the details about adjustments and stuff in the other videos. So if you have questions on this one, I will answer these in the comments section. It's just that a lot of these were redundant. So thank you for watching, and check us out at facebook.com/bestpricenutrition.